Hey guys, it's Berrycat, and today I'm going to be making my own Spidersona, which I'm really excited about. I've been kind of putting this off or looking forward to doing this for like years now. It's always been one of those things that I've wanted to do but just never got around to doing. And recently with Spiderman Brand New Day coming out, which I'll talk about later, but I've recently been in a pretty massive Spider-Man obsession. I've been rewatching all the movies and trying to get into the comics, which I still haven't really because I'm more into DC comics so far. I haven't really gone into anything Marvel, so for now I'm just gonna stick to the movies. I also got a backpack for college, a Spider-Man backpack, which I'm very excited for. And I really, really want to get the Spider-Man Crocs, but they're like really expensive right now, so I'm hoping at some point they'll go on a sale and I'll buy them then. But there's been a whole bunch of merch with Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out, and it's been testing my ability to not buy anything. And I remember when Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse came out and I saw a whole bunch of people making Spidersonas, I was so jealous. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just starting out by doing a couple of sketches of outfit ideas of what I would like my character to look like. It's not too unique. I've not really gone too crazy with the design, but I'm happy with it. Like, I've gone more, if I was realistically Spider-Man, what would I want to have, rather than trying to create a whole new character. And now that we've finished the sketches, I'm moving over and trying to refine two main outfits. So I'm doing one, like the full body, normal Spider-Man suit, and then what I would probably wear most usually with like clothes on top, which is both what I would be more comfortable in, but also is just easier to draw, because when it's like when there's nothing to hide the inaccuracies of your anatomy, it's more annoying, because when it's like baggy clothes you can just kind of hide all the bits you're unsure about. And I'm using my favourite colours to be the main colour scheme. I'm using this dark blue and a reddish pink. They're my favourite colours when it comes to like art. I don't really lean to them when I'm like buying things or stuff like that, but when I'm doing artwork I always fall back on them. So I thought those would be good for the colour scheme. I did struggle with this design to pick bright enough colours. I always tend to lean back on like desaturated and darker tones, and I feel like Spider-Man's whole thing is like hope and bright. So I think that's something I need to work on. And yeah, I kind of regret picking such a dark cut. I used pretty much a black for the hoodie. I'm not sure I should have. I probably should have gone lighter, but who knows? It's my character, so I can kind of pick. But like honestly, I would probably be better as like a Batman variant. And I also did the back of the suit to show off what the design would wrap around like. The more I did for it, the more I realised I don't think there's enough, like the stripe pattern wouldn't make sense for what I wanted. I think I needed more vertical stripes. It just, looking back on this, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So there would definitely be some changes if I was to go over this again. I'm kind of thinking that when whatever next Spider-Man project comes out, I'll do another video like updating my design and maybe adding some more aspects to make my character more personalised. But for this video I kind of needed to stop because I was going into like 30 hours of drawing and it was getting a bit crazy. I have other things to do, but I did really get obsessed with doing this whole video. Back to the drawing. I'm doing a whole bunch of different Spider-Man-y poses on the right side of my character doing different things. I think I struggled a bit with the references because I was looking at different Spider-Man types and it meant the anatomy was different for each character and it was a bit confusing. I think some of the bits looked like, because a lot of the references are male, so it ended up looking a bit iffy in some parts, but it's fine, it's fine. And then I also did a hand show my web shooters in the iconic web shooting hand pose. But I tried to do a whole bunch of different outfit like variants where I have the hood down in some, and some I don't have the jumper at all. And I think that's what I really like about Spider-Man, is it can literally be anything you want. Like, Spider-Man is so awesome, and I think especially with the Spidersona trend, and it's like one of my favourite trends, like art trends, just because of the amount of variants you can create, and each of them are so unique, and you can go as far away from the character or as close to the character and it's still Spider-Man. Like, it's just so awesome. I've been watching a whole bunch of the meeting the Spidersona like intro videos where they do the animation and stuff, and I really wanted to do that, but I don't have the time. Also, I'm not very good at animating yet, but maybe in a year's time when I have the energy to do that, I'll have a go. I wanted to do like a page where it's me, mainly because I wanted to draw myself in the Spider verse art style, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse art style, and I had lots of fun doing this. I spent like 5 hours on it, and I was watching Spider-Man, and I was in a good mood. Although I honestly kind of struggled in the art style. I went too detailed, I think. I kind of didn't realise how smooth a lot of the shapes are. I think I sometimes mix up the arcane art style and the Spider-Verse art style, and I prefer doing the arcane art style more because there's more sharper lines. But I do think I captured some of the Spider-Verse vibes. I kind of fit in there, but I did struggle a bit. I did also give myself more hair than I have because I wanted more, okay? I accidentally cut my hair too short, and I'm wishing I had longer hair, so the perks of being an artist is I can do whatever I want, so I gave myself more hair. But I spent a whole bunch of time looking at my Spider-Verse art books. I'm not sure what to call it. Is it the Spider-Verse? The animated Spider-Man movies. I'm not sure what that whole universe is called, but I have both those art books, and they're both really useful. I think particularly for digital art, I don't think there's much, if any, traditional artwork in those books, and I do like traditional artwork, but having a solely digital like reference is really useful. And I was looking through the Into the Spider-Verse art book, and it's just, oh my goodness, it's so good. I have a whole bunch of art books, and that one is by far the best one. I'm not like hugely sure. I was trying to figure out what's so great about it. Partly because the story is so good, it like, there's so many different aspects of the story where it goes into the countryside and the city and these big warehouses and stuff. There's just such a variety of different aspects to the art book, and I really like the fact it follows the story by putting in the character artwork when they appear in the story. Because I was just comparing the two art books of Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, and just like a bit shocked of how much better the Into the Spider-Verse one is compared to the Across. I've been saying a whole bunch of words, and I'm not sure if any of them made sense, to be honest, but yeah, basically the moral of this ramble is I love the Into the Spider-Verse art book so much. It's probably my favourite art book that I have. I do really like my Luca art book, just because I love the watercolour in that book. Going back to the drawing, I've added a whole bunch of different poses of me interacting in the environments. I've added a little Spider-Man suit underneath my headshot image so that you can see that I've been Spider-Manning. And then I've also done a couple of poses of me in one, like going to school carrying my books and my coffee with my big backpack. I've got one where I've got my mask like midway off my face, and I've got one which is, I thought it was kind of a cool idea, where I really like the fact that Peter Parker is like a photographer and he takes photos of Spider-Man, and I like the idea of him being like paid more because he gets really good shots of him, and I just find that really funny that he like, I don't know, I find that concept really funny. So I thought my version could be that I create Spider-Man comics and I get the first, and I get all the good like stories and original ideas because I'm living them. I thought that was a fun idea. And then I'd probably spend like 90% of my Spider-Manning time just doing graffiti on buildings that nobody could see. And just like sitting on top of buildings. I think I would thrive just like sitting on there for hours thinking. But I think you could kind of see how much of my style like shifts over this artwork. I didn't know what to stick to. It's kind of go from really cartoony to slightly detailed to not really detailed. It's not very unified because I don't know, I struggled a bit to keep all the faces looking similar-ish, so that's something I could work on. And I did try and make it more unified by just using all the same colours so that all the outfits stay similar-ish, and I think you can tell it's the same person. And then I also added a little spider of what my spider would look like, and I tried to make it look as non-threatening as I possibly could because I'm terrified of spiders, and the only possible way it would have got close to me is if it was really cute. I just had the image up of the final artwork, and I have an issue with my drawing tablet where the colours don't match up, so it's a bit desaturated compared to what I was drawing. And now we're moving on to the final artwork of the video, which is the comic book cover. And oh my goodness, I struggled with this. Mostly about the character. The rest of it was fine. I don't know, I'm still not 100% happy with how it turned out, but I'm pretty happy with it. And my struggle with this whole thing was I have so many ideas of what I want it to look like, and I don't hate anything that I'm making. It's just that I want to make more, and I think that's a real problem. Like, I just want to do loads of different things, and yeah, I just need to do it all. And we're starting off by doing a New York landscape, or kind of New York. I've never been to New York, and I just thought it made sense to set it in New York because, like, Spider-Man's whole thing is that, you know, it's iconic. And oh my goodness, I haven't even talked about Spider-Man Brand New Day yet, which, oh my goodness, I saw it last Wednesday when it came out on the release day, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I liked it. It genuinely one of my favourite Spider-Man movies ever. And honestly, Tom Holland is probably my favourite Spider-Man. Which I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about adaptations as a whole, in general. And I think adaptations are literally just nostalgia based. Like, so many of the things that are my favourite, I look back on and I'm like, I only like this because I grew up on it. Like, I appreciate that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man are, like, iconic, and they set up the Spider-Man franchise. But, like, my favourite Spider-Man is Tom Holland because I grew up with him. And I also just love the fact he interacts with so many more superheroes. One of my favourite things about Spider-Man is when he interacts with like the gods. It's just, I don't know, it's so satisfying to me. So yeah, he's definitely my favourite. And like, I've watched his movies the most. I watched both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's quite late, so I'm a bit late to the party. And also, I don't like Tobey Maguire. To me, I don't know, he just looks too old to be Spider-Man. I liked the second one, but his first movie, I just spent the whole time being like, that's an old man. But Just my personal preference. Oh my god, and oh my god, every time the Punisher came on screen, I was like kicking my feet, squealing. Oh, I love the Punisher interacting with the superheroes so much. I love his dynamic with like every character he's been on screen with, just because something about moral differences where they're like fighting for the same thing, but it's on such different levels that, I don't know, it's just awesome, 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 awesome. Yeah, I'm so happy. Like the first half of the movie was like peak. It was peak Spider-Man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And like visually, I really enjoyed it, especially a lot of the building shots. One of my favorite scenes was when it like zoomed out. Also, spoilers. I'm not really spoiling anything, but when it zoomed out and it showed the buildings, I don't know, that was just a really satisfying shot for me. Oh, and Bruce Banner, the Hulk. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get more Hulk and more Bruce Banner, because Bruce Banner is my favorite character. I love the Hulk, and please, 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 can we have a Hulk movie, please? Another one with Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. Okay, and now that I've kind of ranted about how much I love this movie, I can get back to talking about the artwork. I don't know if you could see me struggling in the background, especially with the anatomy. I was really struggling with the bottom left leg and the top right hand. Just, it didn't look like, it still doesn't look very natural to me. Like just the flow, the movement of the pose doesn't feel great. And I was struggling with the colouring. I wanted it to be bolder, but I honestly, I'm sorry if you can hear barking in the background, but I honestly think it's a skill issue. Like, I think my colour work will improve over time. I need to learn how to pick things to be bolder and work on composition more. And I haven't really mentioned the fact I didn't know what to call her really. I ended up just calling her Spider-Woman, but I did give her a hoodie with cat ears to be like Berry Cat, and I was thinking like Spider Cat, but Spider-Woman makes more sense to me, and I feel like cat was too short. And I did also add some other details to make it look more like a comic book cover, adding headers and stuff like that. But we are at the end of the video. I spent way too long on this, and I'm super happy with how everything turned out. I have loads more to add to it, like adding special abilities or creating my own backstory and stuff like that. So at some point in the next couple of years, there'll probably be another video of me designing more, so look forward to that. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.